having a baby changes different aspects of your life, your work life, home life, friendships, your family relationships, or date night. Hi, I'm Denise and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a collab with another YouTuber. Her channel is HD and Baby K. I'm gonna link her channel right here. Today, we're going to be doing a collab about what changes after pregnancy. We're gonna be talking about how having a baby changes different aspects of your life, whether it's your work life, home life, friendships, your family relationships, or just going out or date night. We're going to be discussing those topics. So on Hannah's channel, she actually uploaded her video right now at the same time. So when you guys are finished watching this video, make sure you go over to her channel and you check it out. I'm sure you guys are gonna love her channel. She has such a cute little family. She has a little baby girl and a baby boy. And I just love her videos over there. Go check them out. Give her videos a thumbs up, subscribe to her channel and all that. So let's talk about how work life is affected after you have a baby. In my personal experience, before I had my son, I was always working. I worked a lot. I worked full time. I worked so many hours, and I worked like 6 or 7 days a week if I wanted to. If I could, I worked to make money and to just buy whatever I wanted. But after having a baby, I realized that I always felt like I turned down overtime. Like I'm like, no, I just want to go home to my son. I want to go home. I want to take a break. In the beginning of my pregnancy right now, I was working a little bit too, but then the morning sickness just got the best of me. So I was like, okay, no more work. I can't do this. I'm already throwing up at home 24/7. I don't want to be throwing up at work. So I feel like those are the types of things that changes whether you want or can to work overtime or not working at all. And there's nothing wrong with not working at all, because there's always the option to work at home, and there's so many different jobs that you can just do at home rather than going out to a workplace. So for the work life, I feel like a lot of people's mentality is to work, but then after you have a baby, it's work and then what's going on with your baby. Like I know when I was at work before I had my son, when I would be at work, I'd be like, okay, I need to do this at work, take care of this. Like work was just always on my mind. But then after I had my son and after I went back to work, I would always be thinking about my son, like who's watching him, what time of day is it, is he taking a nap, has he had a bottle yet, are they changing his diaper? Like that was the only thing on my mind while I was at work after having my son. That's just how your mentality changes sometimes. So for family relationships and like relatives and stuff, I feel like before you have your baby, sometimes you guys may be super close before you have a baby, and then after you have a baby, it's just completely different. Sometimes you may not see your family members or be around them as much, or it may be the other way around where before you have your child, you don't really spend time around your family, then after you have your child, you do spend more time with your family. I don't know if that makes sense. If it makes sense, give it a thumbs up. But I found in my case that it's both situations. Some family members I'm a little distant from now because I feel like we don't have kids, so we don't really relate, or there's not like that same type of understanding. And then for some of my other family members that do have kids, I feel like I can relate to them more and have a better connection because I feel like we're on the same page and we understand where we come from, if that makes sense, like I said before. Yeah, I also feel like for family relationships, after you have a baby, I feel like it also brings your family together too, because, or it brings both families together too, because there's this little baby that has one family and then they also have another family, and then it just brings both of those families together. So I feel like that's another thing that changes. Sometimes if you're just in a relationship with you and your husband or you and your boyfriend, you probably don't see both families coming together, but after you have a baby, that's something that definitely changes, is the families, they both come together. And I really like that idea and that aspect of having a baby, how it brings both sides of the family together. So for the friendships part, what I notice a lot of time is that people that don't have kids are always hanging out with their friends like 24/7, always going out, going here, going there. But then after you have kids, it's like you barely go out, you barely see your friends, your life is more focused on your baby. And I feel like I relate to that. I feel like that's more of how my life is right now. Also related to friends, I feel like before I had kids, I feel like I couldn't really relate to my friends that already had kids, but now having my son and having a baby on the way, I feel like now I understand more of where my friends were coming from. I understand like certain things that they did, go here or go there or not go out to here and there. Now I just understand. I just feel like I couldn't relate to my friends before that had kids, but now looking back and having my own kids right now, I feel like I can relate more. And I feel like that's just something you'll notice. If you have friends that have kids and you don't have kids, I'm sure it's a little difficult to try and understand why they can't do certain things or why they can't go here and why they can't go there. But trust me, it'll make more sense once you have kids and then your friends have kids. Everything will just be more understanding and make sense. Related to friendships, I feel like a lot of the cases after you have kids, you start to have friendships with mothers or other couples that have kids too. And there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like things are more relatable. You can have more relatable conversations, more things in common to talk about. Another thing that changes after you have kids is your going out life / your date night life. So obviously before you have kids, you can go out any time of night, you can drink whenever you want, you can go wherever you want, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But after you have your kids, you'll probably find yourself going out less and less, or not even at all, or only on rare occasions. For myself, I find myself going out like as a family, me, my husband, and my son. We go out all together, and sometimes we go to the theater or just out to dinner, but it's not as often as it used to before I had my son. It's only here and there that we all really go out together. For the date night part, I feel like before I had my son, if I wanted to, me and my husband would go out. We would go out to dinner like every weekend if we wanted to, but now having my son, if we wanted to go out, we have to like find someone to watch him or take him with us, or if we go out, come back in just like a few hours or something like that. If you're about to have a child, if you're about to have a baby, or if you already have kids, you already know that your going out life / dating life has completely changed. It's so different from before you had kids. Then another thing that changes after you have a baby is your home life. It may sound weird, but what I mean by that is how you take care of things at home. Before I had my son, I felt like I was working a lot. I was just going to work, going home, going to sleep, going back to work, going home, going to sleep. Like that was the kind of routine that I had. Whenever I wanted to get things done at home, I would just make a checklist, do everything on the checklist, finish it in one day, and that would be that. But now after having my son and having a baby on the way, it's a lot more difficult to get things done around the house. It's very hard to clean up the toys because every time I start to clean up the toys, my son thinks that I'm playing with them, and then he starts to play with them too, and then he doesn't understand that I'm trying to clean. So that's just one thing that doesn't get done. The toys don't get cleaned up. It's a little bit harder to do laundry. Before I had my son, I'm not sure how often I did laundry. I just know I did laundry with no problem, but now I feel like it's a lot more difficult to do. It's a lot harder to find time to do. And same thing with just cleaning in general. Cleaning any rooms are kind of hard because I gotta keep an eye on my son and then make sure he's not messing up a room that I just cleaned, or make sure he's good in one room and I can clean in another room. It can just be a lot to juggle sometimes. And people will probably be like, well, if you didn't want to juggle it, then why would you have kids? But you haven't had kids yet, then you just can't relate. But before you have kids, you don't really know what it's going to be like anyway. You don't really know what's going to change, and you don't know how certain things are going to change. Something that I do think that helps though with managing the home life a little bit more is to try and do some tasks while the baby is asleep. Like I said before, I used to make a to-do list of everything that I want to do for the day or everything that needs to be done, and I'll sometimes wait until my son will fall asleep to start doing things on that list. That way he can be in one one room safely sleeping, and then I can be cleaning or taking care of anything else that needs to be done. And I feel like that really helps. And the last thing I'd like to talk about today, how having my son has changed things for the better. I've actually always wanted to have kids. Like at a young age, I was always like, oh, I'm gonna have so many kids, maybe like 4 or 6 kids. I'm just gonna have like a whole house full of children, have a whole big entire family. And that's always what I thought. And then having my son, I'm realizing how to handle a lot of things. I'm like, okay, so I have one son right now. I have another baby on the way. I'm like, okay, this is how I'll handle it. This is how I'll handle things. And then later down the line, I'll know how to handle the rest of the kids that I want to have. But yeah, I definitely do think that having my son has changed my life for the better. I feel like I'm at a good age right now to be having kids, to have gotten married and all that. Yeah, like I know I mentioned something like this in my other video where I feel like my dreams are almost coming true. Like I'm married, I have my son, I have another baby on the way. We all have a whole big house that we live in all together, and despite the coronavirus right now, I feel like things are just going so great. So having kids can definitely change your life for the better. So that wraps up my collab video today that I have with Hannah, and her channel is HD and Baby K. I'll enter her little channel right here, that way you guys can see. And I want you guys to go to her channel right now, check it out, subscribe to her, give her video a thumbs up, and comment down below. Let her know that you came over from my channel and that you're checking out her video. Also, if you came over from her channel, HD and Baby K, make sure you subscribe and comment down below. Let me know that you came over from her channel. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this collab. Hope that you guys learned a few things about how having a baby can change all aspects of your life. And comment down below if there was something that I missed, if there's something else that you think changes after having a baby. So make sure you check out the links down below, and you'll check out my newest videos. I have a maternity photo shoot video. I actually have multiple maternity photo shoot videos. I have some painting videos. I have other collab videos, so make sure you check those out. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.